Now, other interesting culture news, you have Tyrese Irving suing Home Depot for $1 million. Now, this washed up actor, I mean, very fun, very talented actor from the pinnacle of intellect and cohesion. And you really have to use your whole cerebral to enjoy the film franchise of The Fast and the Furious. He's definitely not mediocre and only known for saying, 3 to 4 catchphrases. He is very capable, I'm sure, allegedly. Now, he actually apparently went to Home Depot, had some contractors using his credit card, and apparently he was going to take some candy bars and walk out while they were still paying. And I believe they do not let the credit card charge go through because it's not their card. And it's fascinating because they're filming prior to the drama. But maybe he will do anything to be behind the camera. Maybe this is what his deepest desire is. So we'll play a little bit of this. They used to have good music at Home Depot, unless someone added this music.
Is that everything you getting right there?
Maybe.
3,000. Okay. Go ahead.
Uh oh. The most controversial question in the United States: can I see your ID? Oh, come
Switch
on.
to Google Fi.
Reason 1,995 to move away from YouTube. The myriad of apps, or more accurately, the advertisements.
So you're a supervisor, right?
Oh, I want to see your supervisor. The ultimate Karen move. It should be a big red light if you're an employee and someone asks that. Just know, good God, this day's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Corelli? And your last name is what?
Oh yeah.
Did you work it?
So this is a. She doesn't look too interested in her job, but I'm guessing maybe a high school or college student. But yeah, she's not telling him her first or her last name, probably because she doesn't want to be put on the internet and become viral. As some internet sleuths will find her first, they'll use her first and last name, basically find every minute detail about her, and have her name dragged out in the mud for quite some time, and maybe even lose her job.
Now a problem with your energy when you're unprofessional.
A problem with it.
What's your last?
Now, granted, maybe he's not, but I mean, my only problem would be she sounds like she's dead on the inside, which it happens to some folks from time to time. I'm not saying you have to be yucky, happy, 24/7. But you should probably be, perk up a little bit, want to help people out in retail. But that's not what he's talking about.
So, ma'am, how long? What is? How long have you been working here, ma'am? You? I just have a question. How long? 1 year. Gotcha. So, my problem with what just happened is that I've been living 3 blocks in there for 10 years. And if this is a policy without a protocol, why are you the first person to stop my team and my builders from coming in here when I've been coming to this particular Home Depot for 10 years? Make me understand that.
One of the first signs of the Karen, I've been coming here for years. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. Granted, my favorite is, I'll never shop here again. It's like, these employees don't care. And even the CEO probably doesn't care because, again, one customer is not going to make or break a large retail environment like that. It's not good publicity if someone's like famous and then they do a tantrum and some of their fans Tyrese. He might have 3 fans. So let's not underestimate his capabilities. They might be upset and say, well, then we won't shop at Home Depot.
This is a are you the only one doing and living up to company policy? Explain that to me. You can, because they reflect you. If you're the boss and you're the manager, and you say it's company policy to show ID before you swipe a credit card, unless you have a pro account, I'm asking you and your staff and your team, these people all work for you. And when you supervise, you're the manager, anything that anybody do as far as their role that may not have the same particular seniority that you have, make me understand, after 10 years of coming to this place, with the same guys swiping for way bigger amounts. So this is like the smallest transaction they've done. Make me understand in 10 years why no one has ever asked 5 years. You don't know? And you work here. And you're a supervisor. You're a cashier supervisor. Which means that when everybody do all the shopping, they gotta come see you before they swipe their card, along with the rest of your team as a cashier, correct? Because if it's a policy, then everybody should be living up to the policy, right? So make me understand after 10 years why this just happened for the first time without a pro account. I've not been to the store. And make me understand how you just seen me and other people that work here just seen me physically in the store. And I was just here. Sir, did you just see me in the store? Sir? So how did you barely look at me if I bought 2 candy bars from you and we gave you the scanning machine, you looked at me, and we just did the whole transaction, and I walked out. Are you telling me you've never seen me until right now?
No, I'm not saying that. I just recognize you.
I'm not talking about recognize me as a celebrity. You did see me, correct? I just want you to confirm that I was just in the store 5 minutes ago.
You were there, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't know if it was you that was there. I barely looked at the face.
Okay.
I was really
Always another camera move. Hey you, take my sign.
all this stuff up, and they were handing you different things, so then you realized about making more, so I just did it real quick, so I get back to the picture. So that's why I didn't get a good look at it.
Okay, so I just called you on FaceTime. No?
AG1.
Apologies about that. That's not a ridiculous thing. So he tried to basically, instead of having, when you purchase something, you usually have a signature or a pin. He gave someone a credit card that was his. Again, it's not a corporate card, where corporate cards is to the business. Apparently it's a personal credit card, gave it to someone, and he tried to FaceTime the manager at Home Depot. I know a little bit about PCI, and I know, there's certain things you got to keep sensitive with the data. In terms of authorization of a credit card, I've never heard that be a valid form of saying, oh yeah, that confirms confirms their identity. I mean, especially nowadays with AI. No, that'd never be used as a valid form of confirming an actual person.
10 years. 10 years coming. No pro account. I'm just trying to understand how you're the first person.
If he's been going there for 10 years, how does he not have a business account with them? Or a contractor account? A big part of Home Depot's portfolio is contractors and people who actually professionally build things. If he set up a specific business account with them, presumably anyone on his team with their authorizations can go and buy whatever they need for the jobs. And he's been saying he's been working with these guys for years upon years. That would have been a pretty simple. I mean, you also save money. I know there's also fiscal and other benefits in terms of money-wise and customer service to having a business account as well.
To say, here's the company policy and this is what we're not doing. Just trying to understand. And you represent the supervisor of cashier. Make me understand how all these cashiers for the last 10 years have been swiping up.
Again, I feel bad because she kind of looks dead inside, but one thing in customer service, it's almost exhausting from a certain perspective. I've had my roles in customer service throughout the years, and you build a lot of character. I think it's invaluable. Everyone should work in retail at least like one summer of their life. You build character, you learn how to interact with people, you learn some valuable lessons about yourself, you grow and develop. I mean, in this case, if I were her, I would just been calmly, hey, I apologize. Our company has these new policies. I just learned about it. I'm still learning. just kind of let them know it's not personal, because companies' policies, they do change pretty fluidly depending on where you work. They could be the same. Shoot, I remember back when I worked in corporate America, they almost had a new policy every week just because everyone, all the executives want to sound smart, like they invented an extra policy to help the customers. So just tell the person, hey, apologize, we're going to have a team meeting about this. Here's the miscommunication we had. And that's kind of the crux of most issues in life, whether it be people or businesses. Just miscommunication. Humans are, by their very nature, a faulty thing. And sometimes it's not even intentional, you just have miscommunication. But let's just see what it goes from here.
Without me physically being here with no ID, I'm on pro. That's the policy. You understand? Because them not doing that is not living up to the policy that you're supposed to put in place and keep in place. I'm going to tell you what this feels like. This feels like racism.
Oh, the cliche as old as time. Next time, I was going to say, Nick, I've never done this. Perhaps as a joke, April 1st, if anyone asks for my ID, I'd be like, because I'm Cuban? I see how it is. No, it's because someone is using a credit card with that, it's not their name on it. In 99.999% of the time, that's credit card fraud. I can't just tell my buddy, hey Juan, hey buddy, can you do me a favor? Go to Home Depot with my credit card and buy something. And most often than not, in retail, there's certain times where they'll check your card just on the fiscal amount involved. If you're buying a $2 candy bar, no one's probably going to check you. But if you, similar to Walmart, if you have a whole cart of like electronics and other things and groceries, they might ask to see your receipt to make sure all the things on there because it's a high volume. And if it's over a certain dollar amount, if you're shopping at Home Depot, presumably they also check your ID. And this has happened to me before because this table actually built 150. While I did not get the 150-year-old antique barnwood, I did get a lot of the components, the screws, a couple of the backwood. A lot of the components for this table I bought from Home Depot. And it cost $700, and they asked for my ID. And because it's a corporate account, I show them, here's my corporate credit card, here's my ID. In this case, it's pretty similar. The company name's very similar to my own name. And it's a pretty seamless interaction. They just had to check is over a certain dollar amount. I didn't take it personally, get offended at the situation. Now, if she had, it would have been priceless if she were to just go out and say, no, I saw your latest movie and it was such a ripoff because it was so vacuous of thought, plot, or any intellect. I felt I'd just give you a hard time. She would never say that. That'd be hilarious if you were just say, oh no, your movies just suck. But no, he's going to play the race card.
This feels like racism.
Feels like.
You're not professional enough to apologize.
Side note, I don't know how anyone could be racist working at Home Depot. You look at the demographics of who works at a Home Depot and who shops at a Home Depot, it's pretty damn diverse. So a racist person would not be happy working there. Quick little side note.
Or
ADHD side note, one of my favorite books was actually called Home Built. What was it? Built from Scratch by Bernie, the founder of Home Depot. One of my favorite books that I've read this year. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a book review. I usually read one business or philosophy book a month. So let me know if that'd be something that interests you.
Even though I didn't physically came back, your staff and employee that works with you and for you as another cashier, he just seen me. I bought 2 candy bars. He looked me in my face. He swiped it and I walked right out the store. Is that the policy too? Where he's going to use a scanner and pay for 2 candy bars and let me walk out the store?
So he's admitting he stole the candy bars now? So it sounds like his friend had the credit card, he scanned it, and he left with the goods before the goods were paid. Technically, kind of like stealing a grape. Oh, this is actually worse because you're moving it from store premises. Well, like stealing a grape when you're shopping at groceries. If you're buying groceries and you have the cart of grapes in your basket, if you eat one before you pay for it because it's paid by weight, you are stealing.
Exactly right. Which means I never showed you my ID, and I never swiped my credit card, and I walked out with 2 candy bars. Is that also a policy?
But I saw them nod, like, oh yeah.
They nodded.
Yeah.
And I also just called her on the phone, and I showed her my face, told her I was just in the store, and I nodded as well. So why did you let me walk out the store with 2 candy bars without ID and without swiping my card?
Because that was part of the whole total. I couldn't swipe it for just 2 things, and you were adding it to the
That was the whole total, but you don't even know if my credit card would actually go through. You let me walk out the store.
He has a kernel of a point. That's true. That'd been hilarious just given, this guy's not doing so well fiscally speaking. We'll get into that in a minute or two. But yeah, that'd be really awkward if the credit card bounced without, or I guess, these days they get declined. But yeah, it'd be like, sir, we need the Hershey's. We need the Hershey bar back. Which begs the question, what kind of candy bars were they? That's the real question I'd love to know.
Without seeing my ID or letting my credit card swipe. Is that company policy? I'm just trying to understand what I don't understand.
Oh, you don't know who he is? Well, you
Don't
should
worry about who I am. I won't think.
Again, it's also an intimidation factor. If you have a C-list, D-list celebrity grilling you like this, most people get pretty flustered and pretty nervous. Especially, they're also on camera too. And you do have the security cameras all the time, but to have someone with a phone, nowadays, most people are scared to death about public speaking. It's fascinating to see. It's one of the greatest fears people have when you're polled. Like, what is your biggest fear? Public speaking is one of the biggest ones. And you have someone with a lot of cultural cachet. Because, again, Tyrese has like 18 fans. I think he had a kid. 19 fans. If you get on the wrong side of them, all the fans would come, they would berate you, insult you, yell at you on the Twitter sphere. To some people, that's a pretty big intimidation factor.
Thank you. They're disrespecting me
No,
and
that's
my
shady,
team
girl.
on purpose.
No joke,
And
bro.
I'm handling
She
it.
ain't right. She ain't that role.
I'm asking you, company policy-wise, that I don't work here, and I didn't make up any of the rules. Do you let people come to Home Depot as a cashier, and you scan candy bars or drinks or anything, and you let them walk out the store without paying? That's what I'm
If
asking.
it was one person alone, no, I wouldn't have done this.
Okay. I'm good, man.
Again, his friends were checking out, and they had that body language that said they were together. Being remote with a FaceTime call, again, that is not a valid form of signature authorization. That could be anyone, especially if you're a pseudo celebrity. I'm sure there's some more on the Twitter sphere or the Snapchat, Bob Banana, whatever app they use these days, that can use an impersonation. They probably have an impersonation where you can pretend to be him and say the 4 cliches things he's known for in the only movie he's in, thereby making the form of security basically none, because again, if you're a public figure, the footage of you is already out there. The AI is going to, yeah, I digress for now. The story's developed. The store manager enters the venue.
What happened? I mean, about, were you with a customer calling over?
And of course, he's pulling the race card. Even in this video, it's a pretty diverse group of Home Depot employees.
Yes, that was me.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, and I get your point, I mean, your frustration, and I do apologize about that, but you was just following front of this.
Okay, I'm asking about the protocol, because I don't work here.
Got it.
So educate.
By this time, he said, "I don't work here" like 18 times. Again, hindsight's 20/20, but imagine if that Home Depot person goes, "You said you don't work here like 18 times. Do you want a job? We have applications."
Me about the protocol. I walked up to this gentleman. I
He's
grabbed
very passionate about the protocols. That's what we like here. Or say something like that.
2 candy bars. He scanned it, and I said, "Hey man, they're gonna finish the rest of the transaction. They got my credit card," and I left.
Okay.
I did not pay for my 2 candy
Why'd
bars.
you left your credit card to that person?
With them. I was just here with them, and this man just seen me. He scanned. Hold on, let me finish.
Oh. So the manager's saying, "I didn't know that." But no, let me finish. Let me yell at you more.
He scanned my 2 candy bars. I looked him in his face. They were finishing up the transaction, and I walked out of your store with 2 candy bars, no ID, and I didn't swipe my card to pay for it. And he let me leave. So then, as I left, sir, they're now here to finish the transaction because, irregardless of who I am,
Ooh. One of the things I look for when a nice sign that someone's lower on the intellectual is that they use made-up words to make themselves sound smart and fancy. Whether it's an IT executive wanting to sound more bombastic, or they're using words like synergy or cloud, or in this case, a lot of people use the word irregardless, which is not a real word. Spoiler alert, if you are not grammatically inclined, that's a made-up word by people that are dumb because they want to sound smart. It's a double negative. Regardless, yeah, just, again, I know school test scores are at all-time low in the United States, so One might argue you've learned more in this video than many public schools.
I give attention, and I just started seeing people looking. I was like, let me go ahead and work my way out. They've been coming here working with me. They work with me. I don't treat anybody less than.
Then give them a corporate card. You said this. You've been working with them for years. Why don't you have a business credit card?
Treat everybody with respect. They've been working with me for 10 years. I have not been in this store in probably 6 years. So I'm asking the supervisor, who won't give me her last name.
I thought you shop there all the time. He's a good customer. What's going on here?
Store policy that you have in place that you're supposed to implement, where I'm able to scan 2 candy bars and walk outside without my ID and without paying for it. And he let me leave. And I'm calling you on FaceTime to say if you have an...
Again, if I was a manager, I'd probably be a little bit more of a smart aleck. Be like, well, what kind of candy bars? Were they Almond Joys? Because that's a crime in and of itself. No one actually purchases an Almond Joy. That whole product line is only in business because of Halloween and kids who get them, but they don't really want them. Another fascinating cultural phenomenon, I've never seen anyone purchase an Almond Joy in my life. I know, oddly enough, my parents like them, but I've never seen one at the store purchase. Have you? Which begs the question, what 2 chocolate bars? He's very, very passionate about these 2 chocolate bars.
ID problem, and I don't have a pro account.
Why don't you have a pro account? You've been a customer for a decade. You have these guys working for you. You'd save money. There's a lot of benefits to it. Again, I was going to say, I almost sound like a sales rep for the Home Depot corporate team or something like that. I wish could have got some discounts on this stuff.
You're looking at me on FaceTime, and I'm telling you it's me. And then you're saying the policy is I got to come in here and show my ID. So why?
Can you think of any store that would accept that form of identity verification? Especially for someone who's, again, a B-list, or no, sorry, B is too much. A D-list celebrity. The images for him are out there. The computers can already make a pretty good AI version of him, I assume, for all 18 or 19 of his fans. You could easily impersonate him. So, especially a D-list celebrity of all people, that should not be a form of identity verification.
Why did your coworker let me leave with 2 candy bars with no ID and I didn't swipe a credit card? If that's your policy, that's what I'm asking. If that's your policy, I'm asking you. I don't work here. I'm asking what is your policy?
Again, I don't work here. Offer him a job. He sounds very passionate about understanding the policy and the rules. He seems very passionate about maybe working there.
In 2024,
we'll get even more commercials because YouTube means even more revenue. Fascinating enough, they're having every fiscal quarter, they lose about 2% revenue in terms of ad sales. So it's down, 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 down. So it'll be interesting to see what does YouTube do to actually turn that trend around. Because again, you can only do that for so long before other parts of the business have to start offsetting those losses.
This is a reflection of you. Because you're the cashier supervisor, and then you called your boss to get to the bottom of what's happening. So I'm asking you, as the boss of the cashiers, why did somebody on your team and staff look at me, grab the scanner out of my hand? It was over here. We gave it to him. He was like, hey, man, here. He reached over the wood and the doors and went bloop.
Another sign of the Karen, you must demonstrate the whole situation using props.
Bloop, bloop. And I said, hey, man, they gonna take it.
I do appreciate, he did enunciate the noises quite well. But, not so much. His acting, I thought that was a better performance than the Fast and Furious franchise, I will admit. But still mediocre to say the least. I mean, what was that sound for the beeper?
He was like, hey, man, here. He reached over the wood and the doors and went bloop, bloop, bloop.
Oh, terrible acting. It's beep, beep. The sound of the Home Depot scanner is much more distinct and much more of a higher note. He can't even get the sound right. I was going to say, is Vin Diesel just going to pop in the store and be like, I'm here, family? Something like that. More Sylvester Stallone, but nevertheless.
And I said, hey, man, they going to take care of the transaction. They got it. I'm out. You're being a racist. And that's the truth.
Again, where is the actual evidence in any of these situations?
I don't have a racist bone in my body. And you got that racist energy all over you because you're not...
What? I need to Google this. What he just said, he's accusing her of having racist energy. Is it like solar power, but the sun just doesn't shine in certain parts? Is that what he means? Racist energy. What is it? What is this phenomenon? Now there are some articles. The energy justice towards race justice. No, that's a very long business. How racism manifests in clean energy. Are racist fossil? So someone's actually claiming fossil fuels are racist. If anything, I think it'd be discriminatory, maybe discriminating against dinosaurs because, I guess not really dinosaurs, but all the fossils and all the plants. But yeah, where does he have evidence to accuse her of this? And again, I'm surprised she's not scared to death because again, the United States, which people say is racist, the worst, most foul, disgusting thing you could possibly be is racist. Not only will you lose your job in 0.8 of a second, you'll lose your friends, your family. You'll be socially ostracized immediately. Which, again, I would argue that's probably a good sign the United States isn't racist.
Not even willing to apologize, fix it, and point out the inconsistencies of what you know and your training and what the policy.
It seems to be an inconsistency in the situation. Whereas he's physically here and his credit card is there. Again, legal perspective, I don't think another person's supposed to use it even if he's in, a 10-foot proximity, whatever, how close they are. But there's a big difference between that and, again, being remote where it could be halfway across the globe and, again, facial recognition, all that stuff can be spoofed pretty easily.
You're wrong. You're wrong, and I want your full name, and I'm going to reach out to the people who own this place, the CEO of Home Depot is my neighbor in Atlanta. Okay? So you don't have to give me your name.
Wow, what a great neighbor. So instead of him saying, hey, I understand, here's the situation, maybe misunderstanding on both our parts, and hey, maybe you're human, maybe it was only a mistake, but that'd be pretty pompous to word it that way. But if your neighbor's the CEO of Home Depot, why would you do this to make them look in the worst possible light? With neighbors like that.
Figure it out.
I mean, what was it? This old saying, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Perhaps the saying is similar in this situation.
This is wrong. And people should not be treated this way. And if you got a policy and you reflect the policy of this place, then the policy should be consistent with everybody that works here. Okay? You don't care, right? Because you don't. He cares. That's why.
Or maybe she's just scared to death that her life is about to be destroyed. Because, again, she's having a D-list celebrity call her the worst possible thing on the planet. And, again, her life will be destroyed.
Came out. You're wrong. And I came here to tell you you're wrong, and you're not even willing to apologize. You're a co-star.
A sign of a Karen. He came there directly just to tell her she's wrong? Clearly has too much time on his hands. Well, let's be honest. He only makes one Fast and Furious movie every year or two. So a lot of downtime between, memorizing his 4 lines, or catchphrases, I'm sorry.
Co-worker seen me, identified me, without ID. He was like, all right, cool. I said, yo, man, they gonna take care of everything. I gave him my credit card, and I walked out. Is that the policy?
So now it looks like they're showing her... Where is this?
Can you please include that information? I was just there. I just walked. I was just in your store, ma'am. If you're going to talk to your manager, tell your manager the truth. I was just in the store, and I gave my guys my credit card in front of your staff and team member, and I walked off. Don't say that I'm not there with no ID. You can pull up the cameras. I was there 5 minutes ago. This is completely unnecessary.
That is accurate. It is completely unnecessary. This whole scenario is unnecessary. Well, except when he's hurting for money. Fiscally speaking, maybe he just wants to make a quick buck off a made-up accusation. Now, it looks like he currently owes his ex, I don't know if his wife or girlfriend, his former partner. They had a child, and they decided, let's separate. That'll help the child. I say that with the most disdain because obviously that's not true at all. Now, it looks like he owes in terms of child support, and again, this is just ruled through the court, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, and he owes her about $250,000 in back child support. Now, one might argue, why does a child need $10,000 a month to live? Well, yeah, I don't think anyone would agree with that, but that's what the court said. He has to pay her $10,000 a month to raise a child. And he also has to pay her lawyer's fees, that's another $400,000. So in total, he owes about $650,000. How could he make that much money when the movies, not enough movies? I know, I'll sue the Home Depot. So this happened a couple months ago, but it's come to the social cultural surface again because he's actually suing Home Depot, trying to sue them for $1 million. Now, it actually might not even be the worst idea. Oh, it's definitely not the worst idea he's ever had. He's had much worse. But just to get rid of the whole situation, Home Depot might just pay it. Just to get him to go away. I'd be willing to pay more money just for him not to talk. So that's actually, that might be a good use case because, yeah, if they would pay them that much money to stop slandering and defaming their store, I'm sure the same people who like Fast and Furious, they'd probably be willing to pay like $18 more, 18% more per ticket if they just removed his lines from the film. And that way the film would only be, cars, explosions, and then Vin Diesel's 2 lines where he says, "Family. Yeah." Again, more Stallone than Vin Diesel, but it's hard to say. I guess one has hair. But nevertheless, it's fascinating to see from a cultural perspective, this is just going viral completely. And I can't help but feel it seems like just be a miscommunication, a misalignment of expectations. And it'll be interesting to see. What do you think in the comments? Do you think Home Depot's going to pay out $1 million just to have him shut the hell up? Well, I thought it was a lot of money, but actually, for a little silence, some might say silence is golden. But, as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of this month, so I greatly appreciate you taking time to click that button. Also, the feedback is greatly appreciated. So every time you leave a comment on the videos or you like the videos, it really helps us grow and develop as we make the channel and make the production better and better. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.